Nerd On.
Hello everyone and welcome to the weekly show where I share some of the most interesting news in gaming. Today we'll go over some new details about the upcoming PS4 SpiderMan game, the official reveal for the Overwatch Retribution event, some pretty great titles announced for April's Games with Gold and PS Plus, and finally we'll touch on some exciting announcements for Final Fantasy XV coming out of PAX East. This is GameByte. Alright, to kick things off, let's talk about the new Spider-Man game. First up, we have a release date, September 7th, and yes, sadly it is a PS4 exclusive, which only is going to make the members of the PC Master Race, like me, not to mention Xbox players, more than a little bummed out, especially considering that the game will be capped at 30 frames per second. Kinda sad to see that happen. It's a little hard to even read it. While it may be hard to imagine swinging through the streets of New York at high speeds with a capped frame rate, developer Insomniac is thankfully adding some features that I can respect, including the announcements that they will be leaving behind microtransactions for this game, and that you can actually unlock and earn skins while playing the game, including some pretty cool pre-order ones. We got a look at a punk Spider-Man, and then there's a couple other mystery skins that we have yet to see. I'm hoping for a Venom skin, that would be pretty cool, but of course that would be a completely different game. And also in this week we got another video from Game Informer. They're going to be covering the game pretty extensively over the next month, and they included a lot of footage from gameplay and combat for Spider-Man. I have to say the game looks pretty awesome. I was a big fan of the old PS3 Spider-Man 2 game, a classic, and I might just have to pick this one up for good old time's sake. But moving on, we have an update on the upcoming Overwatch event. In a video trailer earlier this week, we got the official announcement for what the event will be, and the title is Overwatch Retribution, and as suspected, it will feature a new 4-player PvE mission featuring the famed members of Blackwatch, Genji, McCree, Reaper, and Moira. The event will be 3 weeks long, spanning from April 10th through the 30th, and will feature the new mission in addition to the original mission we got last year, so you can still play that if you liked it. But the really cool piece of news coming along with this is that it's been confirmed that this PvE event will be an annual event, with each subsequent event exploring a different aspect of the past lore from the Overwatch universe. As someone who is enamored with the world of Overwatch, I have to say this is pretty exciting, and it's a very clever way for them to explore the stories in a game that is primarily focused on a PvP mode that is living outside of its own canon. The overarching title for all of these events is called Overwatch Archives, so you can expect next year's to also have a different name. But moving on, as if April wasn't a jam-packed enough month for gaming, we have some pretty cool games coming for free to PS Plus members and Xbox Gold members as well. For the month of April, let's start with Games with Gold. We're getting Assassin's Creed Syndicate. The game got a lot of flack that it probably didn't deserve when it came out, of course off the heels of the whole Unity debacle, so many of us kind of passed on it, especially since it didn't get very good critical review. Well, this is your chance to see if it's a game that you will actually like, because it's going to be free. And that will be served alongside The Witness, the gorgeous puzzle game from a couple years ago. I passed up on this a while back, and I'll definitely be diving into it this time. It looks very interesting. And if that wasn't enough for Xbox Games with Gold, you're getting Cars 2 and Dead Space 2 for Xbox 360, and of course they will work with Xbox One as well. So a couple of cool titles there. Moving on to PS Plus, we start with Mad Max. The game seems to have been just as revered as the masterpiece of a movie it is based on, so it's definitely worth your time to check it out. And it will be served alongside Trackmania Turbo, a Formula 1 racing game that looks pretty intense. Anyways, moving on to the story of the week, we have lots of news coming out of PAX East regarding Final Fantasy XV. Of course, PAX East has just kicked off as of the recording of this video, so I'll be focusing on that next week. But for now, we got a Final Fantasy XV panel that just took place, and they showed us a lot of really cool post-release stuff for Final Fantasy XV, and there is a lot of content coming out. The next year looks to be pretty rich. Of course, we got the PC release and the announcement of PC mods and mod organizers, but the more interesting information is that there's going to be some pretty cool stuff coming to all platforms, and that is a massive update to the new Comrades expansion. The update slated for the summer will feature new bosses, a new raid, and new battle challenges. Now, an interesting thing to note is that the new Comrades mode will be available as a standalone game when it releases this summer, which should remove the barrier of entry for a lot of people and make the game a little bit more popular. Now, if that wasn't enough, according to this handy slide they showed us during the PAX panel, the Comrades update will simply be paving the way for 4 additional DLC episodes for the main game, coming in the winter and leading into next spring. So there's lots of Final Fantasy XV content on the horizon. Pretty exciting stuff. Anyways, that's it for the gaming news I have for you this week. Are you excited for the Overwatch Retribution event? Are you excited for the future of Final Fantasy XV or the new upcoming Spider-Man game? Let's discuss. A special thanks to everyone watching this over on the Nerd On channel. This channel will be the home of the show starting next week, so if you're watching this on the Future Foe channel and want to continue to stay up to date, be sure to hop on over to that channel and hit the subscribe button. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, happy gaming, and I will see you all next time.